Our final reader of the night also has a lot of arcane knowledge. And while he doesn't necessarily call himself a writer, we know that he is. And wherever he goes and whatever he does in his life, I know that he's going to be writing. Jean-Marc is, in his bio, he says he is a comedy and fantasy writer with an aversion to poetry.
That's true.
Who enjoys taking pictures of his cat, although he complains about his cats. Captain Jane's Tiberius Kirk. Really? He is known for his works of humor, that is very true, that rely heavily on absurdity and cynicism rather than normal jokes, because writing jokes is hard. He takes advantage of stream of consciousness to make readers question what they're reading. He aspires to be the discount Douglas Adams. Despite his aversion to poetry, it's what has gotten him closest to winning awards, most often outside of Scholastic Alliance of Art and Writing, for which he won regional Silver Keys for his plays and senior portfolio. He has also been published twice in Diversity, the anthology for the Austin International Poetry Festival, and was named honorable mention in the 2014 Poetry Society of Virginia competition, the 2015 Ann Arbor District Library's It's All Right contest, and the 2016 Fitzgerald Museum Poetry Contest. In the fall, he'll be attending Florida International University because, I quote, "College is expensive." Arcane knowledge, indeed. It is arcane knowledge. That's what I said. It is true. Jean-Marc, I am going to miss you.
Oh, I'm going to miss you.
Who needs a real bio, right? All right, so we've had a lot of beautiful pieces tonight from some great writers, but now for something completely different.
Oh my God.
First, I'd like to start by thanking some people. First, my parents, because without them, I'd have never discovered Mac, and would have never gone further into writing. I'd like to thank the entire workshop for putting up with my often odd sense of humor. And I'd like to thank Ms. K for said workshops. The first thing I'm going to be reading tonight is a little hermit crab essay written in the form of a guide. I wrote it when I was pissed at people on the internet for writing crap.
Oh my God.
It is titled, How to Write Fan Fiction, an Easy Guide.
Oh gosh.
Who doesn't love a good bout of fan fiction? Watching your favorite characters get defiled by subpar writing and self-insertion is always a romp. Maybe you've seen enough and now have a favorite piece, so you decided to write your own bastardization of someone else's hard work. If so, then read this guide and you'll be on your way to creating your own magnum opus and becoming the Von Gogh of internet fan fiction. The steps are as follows. Start from the beginning. Obvious, right? Choose your favorite character or characters. Unlike actual story writing, you don't need to have a plot in mind before you start. Just smash together the characters and see where the wind blows. Now, don't bother being selective at all on your process. Just throw in any Joe Schmo you know. It can even be a real person. Want your favorite anime character? Go ahead. It doesn't even need to be a good anime. How about the protagonist of an obscure video game that you have desires for? Desires that even Freud would think a little weird. Hell, go for it. They're your character now. Making the characters empty shells of their former selves and filling them with your distorted concept of personality and character development is not only an option, but a recommendation. What was this character's sexuality before, you might ask? Does it even matter? They're putty in your hands. Step number 2. Location, location, location. Setting is important, and where are you going to put your mess of characters? Just like you can choose any character, you can also choose any setting. The apocalypse, another planet, your world, or even the basement you're dwelling in. There are endless possibilities. Just pretend this is a real story you're writing, despite characters you're using already being the intellectual property of someone else. Shh. The setting is important because it will help you pull a plot out of your ass. If you choose to put a kids' show character and Bruce Willis in New York City at Christmas time, you may have a romance on your hands. Or hardcore smut. It's your choice. I don't judge. Step number 3. This next step is optional, so feel free to skip it. But if you really want to craft a masterpiece, it's advisable to at least read it. 2 words to know, hotshot. Self-insert. If you're going to make any original characters, why not make it yourself? But it can't be the real you. The real you is probably talentless, uninteresting, boring, lonely, or why else would you be sitting here writing fan fictions if you weren't? But this isn't a self-help guide. So go on to the good stuff. Your self-insert should be a Mary Sue or a Marty Stew. Pretty much perfect without explanation as to why. Make them beautiful, talented, most loved person in the world. Oh, hell, make them a god for all you care. Your character should only share a name with you. But you don't even need to do that. Just make it obvious that it's supposed to be you. Once you've made a character, do whatever you want while you pretend to be a writer. Step number 4. Now that you've got your basis, you can start with the fun part. You can start half-assing your plot. Now, unlike in a real story, a steady plotline and continuity are not required. What you do need to think about, however, is which direction this story will go. Do you want to create a gay and incestuous relationship between story cartoon characters? Maybe you want to make your favorite band play a private show for your self-insert character and then have the band leader fall in love with said character. A fan favorite is always throw to characters in high school because puberty is a fun time, am I right? The sky's the limit because, remember, there's no way to gauge the difference between a fan fiction writer and the author of the original pieces. Number 6. Just like in books, your chapter should end at a point where the reader wants to know more, compelling them to get that extra chapter in before they stop. You have the upper hand over those stupid novelists, however. Just post by chapter and leave weeks between posts. Everyone loves a cliffhanger that they have to wait inane and indefinite amounts of time for. Just ask any TV executive. Number 7. All the pros know the websites where they'll get the most attention. Tumblr, Wattpad, and fanfiction.net. Go to those sites and you'll only ever be taken seriously, as well as receive genius constructive criticisms from the wonderful user bases of those websites. Number 8. Don't bother with proper grammar. It just hampers projects and your flow of ideas. After all, Jimi Hendrix didn't know music theory, right? Rules impede creativity. Stories with bad grammar are just a sign of an eager writer and hold the most lashing. Duh. Number 9. If you've killed off a character but you want to bring them back, just do it! No one's gonna care. In fact, they might rejoice that you brought back your discount store character. Number 10. Embrace the cliches. They're popular for a reason. Number 11. If you get big enough, then just rename the copyrighted characters and you can find yourself getting published. 50 Shades of Grey, anyone? While all of this is out of the way, your mind must be blossoming with ideas and your writing hand itching. So get to work, and don't forget, quantity over quality. So, despite me not being a poet, the next 2 pieces are poems because I need something to fill the space and the rest of my stuff is too long. So the first one is one of my most satirical pieces, parodying those writers that take themselves far too seriously and try too hard to be artistic in response to a National Poetry Month prompt where Miss K told us to do whatever was forbidden normally. Oh no. Oh yes, Miss K.
It's PG-13, no.